All right, eighth graders, this video is for all three blocks 1, 2, and 3. This is for your test, which is Monday, on writing linear equations. As always, when I make these videos, I'm gonna go super fast because you have the ability to stop and rewind and fast forward and do whatever you need. There's quite a bit of material that belongs only to block 1. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna do it question by question like I normally do, but I'm gonna give all the stuff that both blocks have in common. And then I'll sort of cut it off for a second and say like the rest of the thing is for, just for block 1, even though it's a little bit like out of order on the practice test and stuff like that. So look, everybody's gonna get a first page with some basic vocabulary. I'm not even gonna write this down. You know what M is. M is slope. You know slope is rise over run. You know slope is change of y over change of x. We've done that. You know that. There'll be a question about that, right? Like, what's M? What's B? You know B is the y-intercept. Even for block 1, where you have different forms, this is still like your main framework for a linear equation. You're all gonna get a question that says, when I write an equation, what's it gonna look like? And the answer is gonna be a line, okay? All right, cool. You all get a question about who's your person who asks that, like, to turn this from a framework into a real equation. There's Carly, there's Avery, and there's Leah, right? You find M and you find B. That's our goal. This is the framework. We find M, we find B. Let's say M equals 3, B equals 4. Okay, you take the framework and you find the two things that make it real. That's a graphable equation. You can do plot data, you can do all sorts of things with that. You can't do anything with that because you don't know what those are. In fact, one of the first questions is gonna be, I gave you an M, I gave you a B. What's the equation of the line in slope-intercept form? So you'd write this, really easy. If this is negative, then just put a minus in front of it. I don't even care, I don't like it. If you want to do plus negative, that's fine too, okay? That part of the test should be really easy for all of you, okay? Everybody's gonna get a question just because I like it, because people often make mistakes and it's time that you stop making this particular mistake. You're gonna get a question about, like, what is not slope, okay? M is slope. Change of y, rise, change of x, run, that's slope. Rise over run, that's slope, okay? I'm basically giving you the question. It says which one is not, right? And it's gonna be something like this, change of x over change of y. Too often we're making this mistake. We're getting our slope upside down. You can't. I know it's hard. I know that points are written x first, then y, but slopes is y part over x part. I know that's tricky, but we've done it enough times. That is no good, okay? I might put it in the form like there's the other equation, like x2 minus x1 over y2 minus y1. That's just the difference between the two x's and the difference between the two y's. See, it's upside down. It's supposed to be the other way around. This is no good. This, some of you guys have been using this and you like it, that's fine. I like this too. I prefer this. It makes you think a little bit differently, but this is good, this is bad. Okay, we're not making that mistake anymore where we get our slopes upside down. The y part on top, the x part on the bottom, okay? All right, cool. So those are gonna be like all the easy questions. There will be one question where you're actually asked, like, it's the same as actually the last test because it's so important, where you're actually asked to find the slope, 7 and 2, -2. okay? There'll be one question where I ask you to find the slope of a line that passes through those 2 points, okay? Again, too often you're doing this and no, I'm not asking you for a point. I'm asking you for a slope, okay? Really important. Slope is how much does it go up compared to how much it goes over, right? That's the steepness of a line. How much it goes up is the change of y. So look at the change from -1 all the way up to 7, that's 8. From 2, hey, that's good. Ooh, but all the way to -2, that's a bad change. That's a bad 4, okay? Now here's another thing that I see a lot of you guys doing. That's great, you write this as your slope. Okay, it's fantastic. But then when you're plugging it into the equation, you're plugging it in like this, okay? Make your life easier. This is a division problem. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Positive divided by negative is negative. -2. Okay? And I'm still getting some of you who are telling me that's a half. You can't, okay? We can't anymore. All right? 8 over 4 is 2. 4 over 8 is a half. Okay? Out of, over. Okay. Sorry, I know I feel like I'm like almost like complaining, but those mistakes we got to stop making. Okay? All right. So all of you are going to get those kind of basic questions before the like meat of the test. The meat of the test is what we call writing linear equations. All right? And I already kind of made a mistake a few minutes ago and gave you the first one. Like I'm a little out of order in my little video here. But remember, if they say write linear equation, or if I say it, start with your framework. Okay? And just worry about finding those 2 things. Okay? First type, I give them to you. I know I did one of these like 5 minutes ago. Okay? Plug them in. Y equals 7x minus 1. Done. Okay? Next type. I give you a slope. I'll do a fraction. Fractions are okay. Rise over run, 1 over 2. But then I give you a point that the line goes through. I don't know, like 4, -7. Okay? It's okay. Find the 2 things. Find M, find B. Plug in. Y equals. Look, I gave you M. 1/2 x. I didn't give you B, but that's okay. We can find it. Okay? This is a point. This is just 1 point out of a gajillion on a line. Okay, but when x is 4, y is -7. Right? So now I can plug these coordinates in here and here, and then I can figure out what B is. Okay? So let's do that. Okay, now the most common mistake everybody makes, and I know it's hard, the y comes first in the equation, so everybody's tendency is just to grab the first number, 4, and put it there. This is x, you know this, this is y. Okay? So y is -7. Put it right under the y. Okay, now right here it's half smushed up against x. Half times x. Half times, you could put a dot, you could put a parentheses. Okay, I like a parentheses. X, 4. I could put it 4 over 1. I like to multiply fractions like that, plus b. Okay? You know how to solve equations. Simplify. This says to do this multiplication operation, do it. Okay? Half times 4. 4 over 2. That's not a half. 4 over 2 is 2. Right? Half of 4. 2. Okay? You plug in the rest of the equation. What are we looking for? B. Okay? It's over here on the right. It's okay. It's on the right. Usually we're on the left, but it's okay. It's on the right. Got to get it alone. Got to move this 2 away. -7 minus 2 equals B. All right? -9 equals B. Right? What do we have? We have our 2 things. have them. That was what we were looking for. I'm gonna go back up here. Y equals 1/2 x plus -9 or -9. I found the two things, I put them into the equation. Okay? Now some of you, when you're writing your final equation, you're leaving these values in the equation. You're writing -7 equals 1/2 of 4. Don't do that, right? We have a framework, we find the two things, we put the two things in. Okay? All right, cool. Next type. All right. The next type is where I give you 2 points. All right, 3, 5, and 5, 1. Okay? And we're looking for M and B. All right, here's the problem. I didn't give you either one. But what is M? It's slope. Slope is change of Y over change of X. These are your X's, these are your Y's. Literally say the words, change. I'm at 5, my Y is 5. And it doesn't matter if you pick this point first or this point, it doesn't matter. But I'm at 5. That's good. I go from 5 to 1. It's a bad change of 4. Okay? Change of X. I'm at 3. I go to 5. Hey, that's a good change. Good change of 2. Okay? -4 over 2. Again, please don't flip that upside down. Okay? -4 over 2 is -2. Make it simple. Don't carry this through like that. Look what we did. We found one. -2 x plus b. Just write the equation with the things that you now know. All right. Then we got to find b. And I always say, how are you supposed to find b if you don't know what x and y are? Or do you? These are x and y coordinates. You can pick either point. I'll pick the second one and plug it in to the equation in order to find b. Okay, 5, 1. It would work if I did this one too. It would work out just the same. All right, 1 is y equals -2. What's it doing? Timesing the x, which is 5, plus b. Okay, 1 equals -10 plus b. Got to get the b alone. Got to move that -10. 1 plus 10 equals b. b equals 11. Okay, we got our m, we got our b. We can now plug it into the framework. Y equals -2x plus 11. Okay? All right. I'm going to do the word problems really fast. All right. And I'll do the correlation coefficient really fast. The word problems. Okay. I'm going to go super fast through the word problems. Word problems. Y equals mx plus b. Same thing. One type of word problem, just like the non-word problems. I give you m and I give you b. What does it mean I give you m in a word problem? Rise over run, change of y over change of x. All you have to know is that x is independent, and in all my problems, it's going to be time. Okay? It's an independent variable, it's going to be time. And y, it's going to be whatever depends on time. There's going to be a question about money. How much money did you make? Depends on how much time you put in. There's going to be a big question about eating cookies. How many cookies are left? Depends on how much time has gone by. Okay, there's going to be a question about weight loss. How much weight did you lose? Depends on how much time. So y is money, cookies, pounds, okay? I could ask you a question about speed, like miles, right? And think about it, rise over run, change of y over change of x. Miles per hour. Cookies per minute, all right? You're eating cookies per minute. Your weight loss, pounds per week, okay? Change of y, all right, over change of x. Dollars per year or dollars per hour or whatever, okay? So if the question says something per something, that's your slope. All right, so question type number 1 on word problem. I will say that there's a guy who starts off with 50 bucks in his pocket and he makes, listen to the words, $5 per hour. Dollars per hour, dollars per hour. That's my slope, 5 over 1. Boom, put it in. You don't have to put the over 1, but you can if you want. Okay, 5 over 1 is just 5. I said he starts off. Your starting point is your y-intercept, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, did I say 60? I think I said 50. All right, that's your y-intercept. When no time has gone by, when time is 0, how much money does he have? It said he started with $50 in his pocket. Okay, that's easy. Again, starting point, Bob started with $50 in his pocket. He made $5 per hour. If I said he made $10 per hour, that's your slope. If I said he made $15 per hour, that's your slope, okay? The next thing that I can do is I'll ask a follow-up. The follow-up is, how much would Bob have if he worked for 2 hours, or 10 hours, or 1 hour, or whatever? Hours, I gave you the hours, 2 hours. Plug in 2 there. 2 is X, 2 is hours. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 50 is 60. So if he worked for 2 hours, he'd have $60. Okay, that would be like the follow-up. Okay, question type number 2, just like on the non-word problems, I'll give you M and I'll give you a point. I'll say Bob had a plate of cookies in front of him. They were disappearing at a rate of 10 cookies per hour. But be careful, they were disappearing. Slope is -10, right? The cookies are going away, 10 cookies per hour. I won't tell you how many he started with, but I will say after 3 hours, he had 90 cookies in front of him, okay? So all you have to figure out is the starting point. You can do it in your head, but we're looking for B, the starting point, the y-intercept. So you plug in 90 for y, you plug in 3 for x, that's -30, 90 equals -30 plus b. You fling the -30, add 30, 120 equals b, okay? So m was -10, b was 120, so y equals -10x plus 120. What does this mean? It means he started with 120 cookies on his plate, and they disappeared at 10 cookies per hour, okay? All right, good. Then, third type. Third type is, just like in the non-word problems, I give you 2 points, okay? I'm telling you ahead of time, it's gonna be a question about Lila fell into a hole and she's trying to climb out of the hole, okay? And I'm not gonna tell you how deep the hole is, but what I'm gonna say is that after 5 hours of climbing, 5 is time is X, after 5 hours climbing, she was 50 feet away from the surface of the earth, right? She was still in the hole. She had 50 feet left to go. She was 50 feet underground. I might use the word 50 feet from the surface. I might use the word 50 feet underground, okay? But know that that's -50. Her height, her highness is 50 below street level, okay? And then I'll say, after 7 hours, she was 30 feet from the surface, okay? -30, 30 feet under. Be careful with that. Okay, so what I gave you 2 points. Still do the same thing. Y equals mx plus b. What are we finding? We're finding m, we're finding b. M is the change of y from -50 to -30. That's a good change, right? She's getting closer. That's a +20. From 5 to 7, that's 2. What's our slope? 10. Plug it in. y equals 10x plus b. Okay? Then we gotta find b. Once again, take either one of the points. Okay, I'm gonna take the first one. All right, I'm gonna put in negative 50 for y equals 10 times 5 plus b. All right, and that's 50, negative 50 equals 50 plus b. Be careful, those don't cancel. This is on the other side of the equation. All right, I didn't mean for these to be the same number but opposite, but it's okay if that happens, right? We gotta get the b alone. We fling the 50, it becomes minus 50. So what's b? Negative 100. Negative 100, okay? So, negative 100, y equals 10x minus 100. Okay? All right, what does that mean? How deep was the hole that Lila started off in? 100 feet deep, okay? How was she climbing? 10 feet per hour, okay? I could ask you a question. Where was she after 2 hours? Plug in 2 right there. 10 times 2 is 20 minus 100. She'd be 80 feet under after 2 hours. Okay, final question. This is a little bit different, and it's okay. I'm just gonna give you one. It's gonna be easy. It's a totally different type where there's not a dependent and independent. It's an interdependent problem, okay? It's gonna be, and I'm telling you what it's gonna be. It's gonna be chickens cost $3, okay? Chickens are $3 each. Pigs are $4 each. And Bob has, I don't know, $120. Question is, how many of each can he buy? Why is this even a linear equation? I'll show you that in a second, but all you have to do is say he spent money on like the question would be, he went to the farmer's market, he only bought chickens and pigs. How many of each could he buy? Well, how much did he spend on chickens? $3 times however many chickens he bought. How much did he spend on pigs? $4 times however many pigs he bought. How much did he spend altogether? $120. Okay? The question is, how is this linear, whatever? Well, they're data points, right? How many chickens did he buy? Well, it depends on how many pigs he bought. How many pigs did he buy? Depends on how many chickens he bought. They're kind of interdependent. There is no, like, dependent and independent variable. You could make the x-axis be chickens and the y-axis be pigs, or vice versa. It's okay either way. Okay? That's it. Now, the follow-up is, what if he bought so many chickens? All right? What if he bought 20 chickens? 3 times 20 is 60. That means he's got $60 left to spend on pigs. So we bought 15 pigs because 4 times 15 is pigs. How is this linear? Ready? If pigs is y and chickens is x, if he bought no chickens, then it means he bought 30 pigs. 10, 20, 30, all right? If he bought no pigs, that means 3c equals 120, means he bought 40 chickens. 10, 20, 30, 40. Those are points. Every point in between, every other combination of things that he could buy, fall on that line. That's why that's linear. All right, wait, I got one more question. For both pace and non-pace, just know it, okay? Just know it. It's correlation coefficient, all right? We did the little sample on Desmos. If there's a line and the points are really close to the line, there's a strong trend. You see how it's almost aligned, but the points aren't really on the line, okay? And this is called the best fit line. It's trying to get as close to all the points as it can. The best fit line is moving upward, like toward Connecticut, like we've talked about. That's positive. That's a positive correlation. When this goes up, this goes right, okay? All right, so that's a positive correlation, and these are all really close to the line. It's strong, so it's gonna be close to 1. It's gonna be like 0.925 or something like that. close to 1. Same thing, okay, if I have some really random data points, okay, but you can still see they kind of trend in an upward direction, okay? The best fit line still kind of looks the same, but the points are all over the place. It's still a positive correlation, but it's further away from 1. It's weak, maybe 0.375 or something like that. You don't have to calculate whether it's 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.5. Just remember, if it's really strong, it's like close to 1, like 0.9. If it's really weak, it's closer to 0, like 0.3 or 0.2, okay? Same thing, if the general trend is in a negative direction, but it's really, really strong, they're all close to the line, it's negative, point like 985. That one's really strong. Those are almost a straight line, okay? But if the general trend is negative, but they're kind of all over the place, okay, then it's still negative, but it's negative closer to 0, negative 0.275 or something like that, okay? There'll be one question on that, just know it. We've been over it, okay. All right, you're done for blocks 2 and 3. For PACE, all you really have, I'm gonna go super fast because this video is getting really long, but for PACE, all you really have is standard form, okay? So you get something in y equals mx plus b, you already did all the work, and you get that. You're supposed to put it in standard form, ax plus by equals c. Okay, this is PACE. All right. Standard form, ax plus by equals c. You just got to make this look like that. So move this over, 1/2 x, negative 1/2 x plus 1y equals 7. ax plus by equals c. There's only one little twist. It's the gods of math. They decided when we write things in standard form, we like to have coefficients, the numbers that come in front of the variable. We like to have coefficients that are integers. Go figure, okay? You get it next year, you get it the year after. So, how can we write this equation that's equal to this, but where the coefficients are all integers? See, this one's not, this is a fraction. An integer is a whole number. All you do, just kill the denominators, okay? That denominator is 2. Let's multiply everybody by 2. 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 1x. 2 times 1y is 2y. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay? Everything else is the same. So I might give you one where I just give you 2 points and you gotta write it in slope-intercept form, but then you gotta keep going and change it into standard. You'll get to here, like at the end of the problem, and then you gotta change it into standard form. Okay? And then it'll say with integer coefficients. And it's most likely gonna be multiple choice. So, you gotta be able to get it right so you can find the right choice. Now, what if we multiply both sides by -2 instead of 2? That would be the exact same thing. So when you're looking at, maybe you did that and you're looking at the multiple choices and you're like, I don't see it. You do see it. This is the exact same equation. It's like this one where you multiply both sides by -1. Okay? There's that. I know I'm kind of shortchanging you guys PACE block. I'm going a little faster on your extra stuff. And then you'll get one question about point slope form, which by the way, you can use for some of the other equations. For point slope form, it's just stick in your head memory, okay? Point slope form is m times x minus x1, which is the x that you're given, equals y minus y1. That's the y that you're given, okay? I derived it for you. For the test, I hope you understood when I derived it for you, but for the test, just stick it in your head. I give you an m, 7. I give you a point, 3, -5. Okay? 7 times x minus the x that you're given, which is 3, equals y minus the y that you're given, minus -5. Let's be mature and put +5. Okay, thanks guys. That's called point slow. Sorry, Pace, I shortchanged you a little bit on the extra stuff, but, all right, here we go.